Hi, good evening. This is a video on writing and translating expressions, and this should be page 23 in your notebook. So let's go ahead and get started. So translating from verbal phrase to an algebraic expression, pretty much you just have to look at the wording. So over here to the side, I've given you what different operations and different words you might hear for each operation. So for addition, these sum, plus, total, more than, increase by, those are just some examples of what you might hear to do addition. And then here's subtraction, difference, less than, minus, decrease by, and there's others. But these are the main ones you'll probably see. Multiplication, times, product, multiplied by, of, groups of, division, quotient, dividend, half, divided into, and then quantity just means that you're taking a number and you're multiplying a group together. Okay. Order is important when writing subtraction and division because remember, addition and multiplication have the commutative property, so order doesn't really matter. But with subtraction and division, it does matter. So you have to really think of how you're going to order those when they give you the problem. So let's get started. So up here, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. The sum of 9 and a number, we know that sum means we're going to be doing addition. So 9 and a number, so we could just say 9y, or 9 plus y. Or if you want to say y plus 9, remember it has that commutative property, so that can be both of those answers. A number n plus 14. So n plus 14. And again, commutative property allows us to write it as 14 plus n if we would like. And then the next one, 12 more than a number w. So I have 12 more than w. I typically, if I have more than w, w is my starting point, and then I'm going to add 12 to it. So that's how I like to write those for addition. Alright, this next group is dealing with subtraction. So the difference of a number f and 12. So we know that we're finding the difference between f and 12, so f minus 12. But remember, 12 minus f would not give us the same value, so please don't mix those up. So if you did 12 minus f, I'm going to circle it and we're going to say nope, it's not the same amount, okay? A number b minus 88, so b, take away 88. And then 4 less than a number z. So right here, 4 less than a number z. So I know I've got z, right? And I know I'm going to take away 4. So in order to show that, I have z. I'm going to take away 4. That's the order in which to write it. A lot of kids want to put this first, 4 minus z, because it's written in the verbal phrase first. But they're saying 4 is less than the z that's given. So given z, take away 4. So just be very careful with this kind of problem, because I've seen it a lot where people make mistakes. Okay. Next is multiplication, so 17 times r. And remember, with multiplication, we like to write it as coefficients. So I'm not going to put the multiplication symbol in between. I'm just going to say 17r. 1/4 of a number x, so 1/4 x. And again, I'm not going to put the multiplication sign in between, because we now know what coefficients are, so we're going to use that. And then 37 multiplied by k, so 37k. Alright, next is division. Again, order matters with division, so be careful with this. Alright, so quotient of a number b and 4. And guys, I know that most of us want to write it as b divided by 4. I don't mind it this way, but this is the way that I prefer. So let's put a star next to this one. This is how I prefer it. You can write it that way, but you're mostly going to see it written this way. 81 divided by c. And then g divided into 11. That means that g is going into 11, so g is actually the divisor, which means it's the denominator. So g is going to be the bottom number. Alright, next we're doing quantity. 4 times the quantity of a number less than 6. So 4 times the quantity of a number less than 6. So a number less than 6, so 6 is given, and then we're taking a number away from it, so 6 minus x. Next, the product of 10 and the quantity of 17 is less than a number. So we're going to write it as 10, parenthesis, the quantity of 17 less than a number. And then the last one, we're going to write it, and again, this is dealing with quantity, so we're dealing with grouping. The sum of 19 and the quantity of 5 divided by x. You can put parentheses around it, but it's not going to make a difference. So those are some examples of how you can change from verbal phrases into algebraic phrases. All right. On the inside, now they're giving us the algebraic phrase, and we're gonna write it as the written phrase. There's different ways you can say it. It honestly doesn't matter to me which way you say it, as long as when it's written it makes sense and I could change it back to the given. So this could be the sum of 13 and b. Another way you could say it is b more than 13. So again, there's multiple ways to say that one. Zoom out a little bit. All right, this one, because subtraction is important, you have to be very careful with the wording. So I could say it like this: 12 less than g. I could say the difference of g and, well, the difference of g and 12. Okay. If you found other ways, cool. All right, the next one, again, a lot of different ways you can write this. The product of 4 and a. You could also say 4 multiplied by a. And again, other ways to say it. With this one, just be careful. Make sure that you can say the quotient of r and 16, or r is being divided by 16. The quotient of r and 16. Sorry, I can't write. And this next one, we just have to be careful. Excuse me. So this is, you could say that this is the 19 less than the quantity of, so we know that quantity means we're going to be putting it into a group. The sum of s and 10. If you have a different way to write it, cool. All right, and then what you're going to do is, for homework, you're going to go ahead and finish 1 through 12 on this sheet, and then 13 through 16 right over here, and then also 1 through 5 right here. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, excuse me. Please leave a comment underneath the video, or please ask in class. All right, have a great afternoon.